I just float with it. Fuck what you did, I'm at your throat with it. You can learn something, take a note with it. Dedicated my life, I took an oath with it. For the blood of my brothers, we don't do no switching. I run with who I run with, ain't no clicking. Try me, do you done with no decision. Lead a scene like a Mack truck with 4 collisions. Pose everywhere, but they ain't gon' vote dissing. Coming at you live and direct, I don't do no dissing. What you did, I'm at your throat with it. You can learn something, take a note with it. Dedicated my life, I took an oath with it. For the blood of my brothers, we don't do no switching. I run with who I run with, ain't no clicking. Try me, do you done with no decision. Lead a scene like a Mack truck with 4 collisions. Pose everywhere, but they ain't gon' vote dissing. Coming at you live and direct, I don't do no dissing. Okay.
There's a king that's coming back to save our people. Now we should be preparing ourselves for the return of our king, not stuck up in these denominations and religions that's destroying our people and destroying our nation.
So when we are in this kingdom and our brother and sister is doing wickedly in this kingdom, we must tell them, look, the world is expecting you to stay docile, to stay stupid.
That's what Christianity teaches our people. Teaches our people to hate one another and love the oppressor. Like, we'll never forgive one another for anything that another brother or sister do to us, but we'll forgive the oppressor in a heartbeat. There's something wrong with that, man.
Imagine living your life as a whole Christian your whole life, and life's good because you're a Christian and Jesus is white and everything's going great, and there's a landslide and the earth opens up and you go downstairs and you walk through this place and you see a black Jesus, man. Why is Jesus Christ black with an afro in the catacombs, man? This predates the Renaissance period.
So when you read the book of Genesis, the trees in the garden with other nations, a leaf, what are the leaf fruits of a tree? The cover of the tree. So Adam took the covering of another nation. What's the covering of another nation? Their culture. So when the Most High saw him and said, yo, Adam, where are you, man? Why are you? Don't mean I can't find you. He was like, who is this nigga? Like that. Where are you, man? I don't know you.
Okay. So the Ba al-Banya Yasha'ala wa Amarath al-Ham wa Idea Yahau. The Ba means speak. Al, when it's joined with something, so al-Banya means what? Unto, right? Excellent. So al when it's joined with something means unto. Banya means children. Yasha'ala is Israel. So unto the children of Israel.
Like if it's one thing a hoe gonna do, a hoe gonna hold. But you ain't, she can't hold if there's nobody to hold with. And the thing she said at the end, where she said, I went back and I lied to him and he still wouldn't do it. And then she threw up her hands and she said, well, he'll just be a brother. That's what he need.
That's
brothers.
right.
If we have more brothers, hoes like her wouldn't have no outlet.
There was a man in the land of Oz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright.
There you go, the man called Job. I think Job is what that afflicted. And that man was perfect and upright, meaning what? You can be perfect, man. Job was a man like everybody else, man. Job wasn't no angel, he didn't come from the heavens, and that man was perfect, meaning what? You can be perfect in the Bible. Being perfect is in the Bible.
Had fringes on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain above 50. Off my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though, cause them niggas getting foul, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow.
Hey, shalom, Israel, shalom. Yahweh Bashmi al Shabrak and Thumb to my brothers. Yahweh Shema Alatham Bashmi al Shah to my sisters. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, I hope y'all is doing well. Welcome to Real Time Revelations. This is a show I do every Monday and every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. You know what I'm saying? On this channel, on the YouTube, on the TikTok, I do this thing live. All right, shalom to everybody that's watching. I see Adolphus last on the YouTube. Shalom, Lord of Christ. I see Sister Sister Nazama Na, Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Bashmi Oshai. Give me 1 second. I think my internet's running a little slow. It's probably due to the weather. The weather right now is terrible. It is foggy and just dismal and bleak. But it's terrible. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Today's show, and of course, y'all see the title. Today's show is a question. Is did you serve the Lord or did you serve Satan? Did you serve Satan in celebrating Christmas and sitting around a Christmas tree, bowing down to Nimrod, some pagan god, or did you serve the God of your fathers? Did you serve the God of Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, and commune with your brothers and sisters? If you're in the UK, at 394 Lodge Road, B18 5PW, and serve the Lord. All right, that's the question. You know what I'm saying? Well, where was y'all? What was y'all doing? All right. No sweat. Shalom, Lord Christ. All right. So to get into it, just to start, I'm gonna give you all a bit of backdrop on what for those who missed it, or for those who might not be aware of what serving the Lord yesterday entailed. Like how did you serve the Lord yesterday? Yesterday was the 25th of December, right? And with those brothers, for those brothers and sisters in the ISUPK, we gathered together in the school and we celebrated the Feast of Dedication. All right, so I'm gonna go over a little bit of the story of dedication for those who might not be aware. The story of the Feast of Dedication, we find in the Apocrypha. All right, I'm gonna go in the Apocrypha, First Maccabees chapter 2. I'm gonna read from chapter 2 and verse 6. Now, this is a time where the Grecians were ruling over our land, right? Let me share the screen real quick so y'all can see the screen share. First Maccabees chapter 2, and I'm gonna read from verse 7. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read from verse 6. All right, so this is I believe this is Judas Maccabeus, right? And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, give me 1 second. Let me switch it to this view. All right, you should be able to see that a bit better. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, there we go. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, so you got to ask yourself, what is a blasphemy? What is a blasphemy? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what a blasphemy is? You can tell me what is blasphemy according to the Bible. Let's see if y'all can type in the chat. I can give you an excellent example of what a big example of blasphemy, especially yesterday, was Christmas is blasphemy. I'm gonna see if anyone in the comments can tell me what is blasphemy. What does it mean? I'll give you all a sec. Let me see. Let me check the TikTok also. Give me 1 second. I don't see anybody answering it in the YouTube. Let me check the TikTok. Is the TikTok doing any better? Okay, I see an answer right here. Somebody said a wicked lie. A wicked lie. That is true. That is true. Blasphemy is a wicked lie. Okay, blasphemy is a lie against God. That's what blasphemy is. And Christmas is absolutely a lie against God. Christmas is a lie against God because Christmas has nothing to do with the Bible, has nothing to do with Christ, has nothing to do with anything apart from, some pagan holiday and pagan customs. It has nothing to do with the Bible at all. All right, that's blasphemy. I'm gonna read the definition right here. Blasphemy: the action or offense of speaking sacrilegiously against God or sacred things. So against the Most High or sacred things being the truth of the Bible. That's what blasphemy is. Speaking against the Most High or speaking against something profane, something holy. Christmas is absolute blasphemy. They will tell you that Christmas is, the birthday of Christ, where you read in the Bible, I don't see anywhere where it says the birthday of Christ was the 25th of December. Not only that, I don't see anywhere where Christ himself celebrated his birthday. I don't see anywhere where Christ celebrated Christmas. I don't see none of that. Meanwhile, every 25th of December, people gather around, get all their family and gather around some Christmas tree to celebrate Christmas. Is an absolute blasphemy. And Judas Maccabeus saw things like this happening in Jerusalem and Judah. Like in this day and age, we saw these things. We're not in the land of Jerusalem right now, but the people of Jerusalem, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians worldwide, with their families yesterday. Some families they can't stand to be around, to gather around a Christmas tree and celebrate Christmas, thinking that they're celebrating God. And Judah saw things like this. He saw these blasphemies that were committed among the children of Israel. And he said, "Woe is me. Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city?" He said, what the hell am I looking at, man? Why was I even born to see this? To see such a disgusting thing, to see the chosen people of God just bowing the knee and just doing all sorts of profane things has nothing to do with the God of the Bible. Has nothing to do with the God of Israel. We're serving other people's customs. We're exchanging gifts because our oppressor told us to exchange gifts. We put a tree in our house because the oppressor told us to. We put gifts under the tree because the oppressor told us to. These things that have nothing to do with God. It's like, well, this man is asking, why was I even born to see this filth going on, man? To see this blasphemy. He says, and to dwell there when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy. He's saying, why was I even born to see Jerusalem, to see the chosen land of the Most High and his chosen people? In this point in time, we are delivered into the hand of our enemy, the Grecians. And in the same day, we're the descendants of the same people, those same Israelites. And the Grecians, or the so-called white man today, is the descendant of the same Grecians that, had us enslaved in this time. And we have been delivered into their hands, and under their leadership, in their kingdom, under their philosophy, we commit all sorts of blasphemies, man. We commit all sorts of blasphemies. We say, the laws are done away with, which is a wicked lie against the Bible and a wicked lie against God, man. We say the laws were nailed to the cross with Christ, which is an absolute blasphemy and a spit in the face at Christ, our King. We say all sorts of blasphemies because we are delivered into the hand of our enemy, and our enemy, this oppressor, is the greatest deceiver on the face of this earth. He could lie. He could sell rain to a cloud. Like, this man is such a deceiver that he has you blatantly disobeying God and disrespecting God, but you think you're serving him. You think you're reverencing him. You think you're reverencing Christ when you celebrate Christmas. Meanwhile, it is a direct spit in the face. The Bible tells us directly not to, get some tree out of the forest and decorate and put it up in your house and nail it to the ground and decorate it in silver and gold. But we do that every year, every 25th of December. You know what I'm saying? Or even prior to that, we get that tree up in our house and serve the oppressor's tradition. He's saying, well, why was I even born to see this misery, to see my people do all this wickedness, man? To see my people in the hands of the enemy and the land in the hands of the enemy. And he says, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers. Right now, our sanctuary, is in the hand of strangers. Our land is in the hand of strangers, these Israelis and Palestinians who are fighting over a land that isn't theirs and doesn't belong to them. Verse 8, it says, her temple is become as a man without glory. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. So this is our temple, and the temple of the Most High is us. We are the temple. We are the temple, but we've become men with no glory. We become men, sitting in the house in matching pajamas with our kids and wives, ready to open gifts from under a Christmas tree. That we as a nation have become men and women and children with no glory. There is glory in serving the Lord. I'm gonna show y'all some pictures of the men and women that serve the Lord, what that glory looks like. But that Christmas that y'all went up and celebrated yesterday was absolutely without glory. All right, it says, "A glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Everything we owned is just owned by our oppressors." You know what I'm saying? Her infants are slain in the streets, her young men with the sword of the enemy. And that's our children. That's our children. That's Rashawn Charles. He was slain in the streets. That's every abortion clinic. Before you even make it out, you're already being unalived by your own mother. A young men with the sword of the enemy. And those abortion clinics, that is a sword of our enemy. Our enemies put those up so we can unalive our children, because he has us thinking that, my body, my choice. He has us thinking that, we just sleep around with men sleep around with women they don't really care for, want to have children with. Women doing the same with men they don't care for, want to have children with. And so when a child comes of it, which is the point, is really, one of the main points of intercourse, you just get rid of it. That's a sword of our enemy, man. It says, verse 10, "What nation had not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?" What nation hasn't had a part in our destruction, man? Had a part in the riches and the wealth that were brought about because of our oppression and destruction. It says, "All her ornaments were taken away. Of a free woman, she's become a bond slave." And that's the children of Israel. That's the children of Israel. The Bible likens, the nation of Israel to a woman. Like, we are the bride to the Most High. And we were a free woman. When we celebrate, when we keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, we are free. We are free of being lied to. We are free of all the filth and, the lies that our oppressor will push on us. You know what I'm saying? We were a free woman as a nation, but we've become a bond slave. We become a bond slave, man. We become a slave to Christianity, a slave to that Christmas tree where we're bowing the knee to go put the gifts under or to take the gifts up. We become an absolute bond slave. You know what I'm saying? "And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it." You know what I'm saying? Our sanctuary that we had in Jerusalem was profaned by these other nations. It was profaned. They sacrificed pork and did all sorts of vile, perverse acts in that sanctuary. It was laid waste. And these wicked Gentiles, these heathens, profaned our temple, man. Profaned our sanctuary. Profaned profaned our mind, where when we think of Christ, when we think of the greatest black man to walk on the face of this earth, we think of some filthy heathen, some incestuous and murderer heathen. They absolutely profaned everything that was precious to blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. It says, "To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer?" Then Mattathias and his son rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourned very sore. So this is Mattathias speaking, right? So they saw this thing. They saw what was going on, and they were in mourning, man. It's a terrible sight to behold. All right. Now, in the meantime, while the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Modin to make them sacrifice. So you have a king, you have some heathen king that's trying to make the people of Israel sacrifice to their God. "And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise, Thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren." So they saw this brother that had influence. So this brother was, he had his sons, he was powerful, he was a ruler, he was in charge. You know what I'm saying? He was an honorable man that kept the law, statutes, commandments, strengthened with plenty of sons and plenty of brothers, because this man had brotherhood, man, and taught his children the right way, and taught his children the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. They went to this brother and said, what? "Now therefore come thou first, and fulfill the king's commandment. They said, yeah, we see you have all these influence, so we want you to be the first one. We want you to be the first one to come do some heathen custom, to sacrifice to whatever the king said to sacrifice for, to get a Christmas tree up in your house, so that everybody that respects you and follows you will do the same thing. He says, like as all the heathen have done, all those other heathens, they bent their knee to the king's commandment. And the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So they were also, Israelites that did the same thing and bent and folded to the king's commandment. So shall thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends. And if you celebrate Christmas, if you celebrate Easter and Valentine's Day and New Year's, you'll be in the number of the king's friends. You'll be a good friend and a good slave to the oppressor. You'll be a good old slave that doesn't ruffle any feathers. But he says, you'll be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards. So if you disobey your God and come serve whatever I tell you to serve, you'll be a friend of the king, and you'll be honored with silver and with gold. He was trying to buy out this brother the same way your pastor is bought out. Your pastor is bought out, and for silver and gold, for that tithe money, he will sell you Christmas. He will feed you Christmas. You know what I'm saying? All your leaders and celebrities that you look up to, they are bought, and they will feed you Christmas, man. Let me see. Let me see what Mattathias' response is. So your pastor and your celebrities can be bought out with silver and with gold, but what about Mattathias? All right, then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice. So he answered and he didn't just answer quietly like, nah, I don't want to do that. He said with a loud voice, man, so that everybody could hear. He said, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers and give consent to his commandments, though every other nation just does whatever the king says. Like you have Arabs and Muslims celebrating Christmas. You have Africans and whatever the hell they believe celebrating Christmas. You have Chinese people celebrating Christmas. Every nation under the king's dominion, under this wicked kingdom, just obey him, and they all fall away from whatever their forefathers believed. A Chinese forefather believed in Buddha, but you come over here, Chinese man come over here and just falls away from everything, just throws away everything his fathers believed, and throws away his religion, which is a false religion anyway. But even just the concept of it, the principle, he just throws away everything, his whole history and culture and lineage, and bows the knee to celebrate Christmas with the white man. You know what I'm saying? And gives consent to his commandments, gives consent to his rules. What does Mattathias say? Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. We ain't gonna bow the knee. We ain't gonna bow the knee and serve whatever custom, whatever blasphemy you want us to serve, to disrespect our God, man, to disrespect our forefathers that came before us and held this truth down for us, man. We ain't gonna disrespect, the God of our fathers, the covenant of our fathers, man, the promise that our people, our forefathers made with the Most High God. We ain't gonna disrespect that. It says, God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. God forbid that we should ever forsake the law, man. And the customs and the traditions that we have in the Bible that come from our forefathers to go do the customs of the heathen. He said we will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion either on the right hand or the left. We ain't gonna follow you to go from what we follow, what was given to us by one true God of the Bible, man. We ain't gonna go to the left or to the right. Go to the left and celebrate Islam and Ramadan and whatever the hell. We ain't gonna go to the right and celebrate Christmas and Easter and Halloween and all sorts of foolishness. We ain't gonna hearken to the words of our oppressor, man. All right. Now, when he had left speaking these words, so he said all that with a loud voice so everyone could hear, man. And when he left, when he'd finished speaking, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment. Some old sellout, some, you know, I don't know if I can say these words on TikTok, but some sellout pastor went and said, you know, okay, he won't do it, I'll do it. I'll take the silver and gold. That Christian pastor went up there and put a Christmas tree in his church, like every Christian pastor does, man. Put up that Christmas tree or sacrificed on the altar, you know, gave in to the custom of the heathen, gave in to the king's commandment, man, gave in to what his oppressor told him to do. Just jumped up and down like a good old slave, like some, you know, some jigaboo, and just did whatever. Now, when Mattathias saw this, good night. When Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled. He was on a horse, and he was so, he's seen this sellout do this in front of everybody. Just bow and bend the knee and just spit in the face of the Most High. And spit in the face of Christ, man. Well, Christ wasn't born at this time, but spit in the face of the Most High and our forefathers. The same way you do when you put that that Christmas tree in your house, man. When Mattathias would have saw that, he would have been inflamed with zeal. His reins would have trembled. It says, neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar. If you would have done that back in the time of Mattathias, he would have ran up on you and unalived you right upon that altar. So also the king's commissioner who compelled men to sacrifice, he unalived at that time, and the altar he pulled down. He went on a rampage. He said, nah, F this, F everybody. Y'all all got to be put down. Y'all all got to be put down, man. And that's zeal to the Most High. You think you're reverencing Christ and being zealous by celebrating Christmas like a good old slave. This is what zeal looks like, man. This is what zeal looks like for the Most High. That's why it says, thus dealt he zealously for the law of God, like as Phineas did unto Zambri, the son of Salom. This is what integrity looks like, man. This is what serving the Lord looks like. I'm gonna get real quick. You know what I'm saying? This is what men that serve the Lord look like. Let me see if I can get this up on the screen. I'll share this tab right here. This is what men that serve the Lord look like. You see Officer Shamgar right here. Shout out to Officer Shamgar, Officer 5,000. Shout out to all these brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? This is what integrity looks like. Instead of bowing the knee to Christmas or serving some sacrifice on the altar, you know what I'm saying? We served the Lord. We served the one true God of this Bible. We kept the feast of dedication, man. We kept the feast of dedication. We didn't dedicate ourselves to Christmas. We didn't dedicate ourselves to some Christmas tree and you know, decorating in silver and gold, which the Bible tells us specifically not to. We didn't dedicate ourselves to our oppressor, whatever the hell he tells us to do. We serve the Lord. We dedicated ourselves to the God of our fathers, man. This is what the brothers and sisters that serve the Lord look like. You see Officer Tazapuan here. Shout out to Officer Tazapuan. You know what I'm saying? You see Haki Uncle Rob. You see all these brothers. You see the sisters right here, the children. You know what I'm saying? You see Captain Karate right here. Shout out to Captain Karate. Also Damgabar. Officer Shamgar, myself. You see who this right here? Banyamyan in the cut. Trooper Banyamyan. Shout out to all these brothers and sisters that I saw yesterday at, you know what I'm saying, at the school. This is what zeal looks like. Shout out to Officer Ariala right here in the cut. Officer Quatazar right here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all these brothers. All these brothers and sisters, man. Shout out to Howard Bar. You know what I'm saying? We got little Shakaya. For anybody that says, you know, I celebrate Christmas for the kids, man. Listen, our kids is having a great time. Our kids is having a ball. You think you have to celebrate Christmas for the children. You're just a filthy traitor. You're just that same man that said, you know, I'll do it. You know, because the world looks at you so nice when you celebrate Christmas. You don't have to feel like an outsider. You know, you just fit in with the crowd. You want to fit in with the crowd. So you go ahead and just, you know, forsake the covenant of your forefathers and just, you know, just to fit in. These are the men that serve the Lord, man. These are the men that are zealous for the Lord. And I'm gonna get right here to show you that what you serve is against the Bible, man. What you serve is a lie and is of Satan. It's of the devil, man, the deceiver. All right, let me get this right here. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel." All right, let me go into the chapter so I can read more on it quicker. All right, so he's speaking to the Israelites. He's speaking to blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. They're saying, "Hear the word which the Lord speaketh unto you." This comes from God, man. This comes from the Father. "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathens." Don't learn the way of the heathens, man. Easter is not in the Bible. The only time it's in the Bible is a mistranslation because at the time they were celebrating Easter, but what they were actually celebrating in the Bible where it says Easter is the Passover. That's what you should celebrate. That's the custom of your forefather. Learn not the way of the heathen. Don't learn Halloween. Don't learn Christmas. Don't learn Valentine's Day. Don't learn flipping Ramadan and what the hell them Diwali, whatever the hell customs them heathen celebrate. Don't learn that foolishness, man. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Don't be confused and you see, you see lights in the sky and you want to serve that. You want to follow star signs, or you want to put what they'll say is a star around top of your Christmas tree. They'll say that's a star or whatever, and you put that around top of your Christmas tree because you're dismayed at the signs of heaven, the same way the heathens are dismayed at them. It said, "For the customs of the people are vain." The customs of these people profit nothing. They serve a God that doesn't exist. And when you do so, you are disrespecting the God that does exist. You're disrespecting the true God of the Bible, man. "For one cutteth a tree out of the forest." You have to bring this scripture out every winter time, every time this comes around, because every Christian that claims to read the Bible celebrates Christmas. Little do they know it's in the Bible to not celebrate Christmas. To not put no Christmas tree up in your house, man. To not follow the customs of the heathen. "For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not." This right here, this is the Christmas tree. This is the Christmas tree that you put up in your house every 25th of December. This is it right here. You see this one right here is decorated with what? With silver and with gold. All these ornaments and tinsel and, all these lights and, this is the tree right here. "One cutteth a tree out of the forest." The work of the hand of the workman with the axe. You get an axe and cut this tree down. You decorate it in silver with gold. You fasten it inside your house with nails and hammers that it doesn't move. This is the Christmas tree right here. You serve something that is absolutely against God, the Most High. It said, "Hear ye, the children of Israel, the words of the Lord." The Lord tell you not to do this foolishness, but you do it every 25th of December. Every damn 25th of December, you do this foolishness, man. And we have to keep bringing out something that's so simple because the oppressor, the so-called white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, let's get back in the scripture. "They are upright as the palm tree." You put that tree nice and upright, make sure it looks so glorious. You decorate it in silver and gold. You know what I'm saying? You put the presents underneath it and all around it, so it just looks so nice and so glorious. But this tree don't speak. You're doing all this for a damn tree, but the tree don't speak. Did the tree give you laws, statutes, and commandments to make you wise? Did the tree give you wisdom? The tree did nothing for you. You do all this work for the damn tree. They must needs be born because they cannot go. You have to carry this tree up in your house. It can't move by itself. You're serving something inanimate that can't move. "Be not afraid of them." And why does it say be not afraid of them? Why would you be afraid of a damn tree? Everybody that puts that tree up in this house, you are afraid of the tree. Why? Because you're afraid if you don't put this tree up in your house, if you don't follow the customs of the heathen, if you don't bow the knee to Nimrod, that you'll be looked at funny. Like, what? Why is he not celebrating Christmas? Well, what's wrong with him? Why is he not doing the same thing everybody else in the flipping world is doing? Because you're afraid. You're a coward. You're a coward, and you forsake your God to put some Christmas tree up in your house, man. You serve Satan. So not, be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither is it in them to do good. Don't be afraid of whoever the hell's gonna look at you funny. Who gives a damn? Who cares? What are they gonna do to you? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But you forsake your God for nothing. It said the customs of the people are vain. You forsake your God and you forsake your forefathers for nothing, something that means nothing. It says, for as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. The Most High is what is great, man. The Most High has the power on this earth. But you serve a damn tree. You serve a tree that has nothing to do with the Most High. All right, let me get this real quick. I'm gonna look up real quick the customs. Let's see, Christmas tree. No, Christmas origin. And Nimrod. Because that's what you serve when you put that Christmas tree up in your house. That's what Christmas is all about. All right, let me share this right here. I ain't gonna go too deep in it because I know we I only got an hour for this show. All right. Make sure after this show, y'all tune into the scripture breakdown class taught by Captain Karathia. You know what I'm saying? Bring all your questions, anything you need broken down, bring it to that class. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you get the answers to everything you're confused about in life, so you don't bow the knee to a damn tree and disrespect your God. All right. It says right here, the following demonstrates what the Babylonians believe about the origin of the Christmas tree. An old Babylonish fable told of an evergreen tree which sprang out of a dead tree stump. The old stump symbolizes the unalived Nimrod, right? The dead Nimrod, and the new evergreen tree symbolizes that Nimrod has come to life again in Tammuz. So for anyone that, for a quick overview of the story of Nimrod, Nimrod was what? Some ruler or some filthy heathen, some filthy, I think it was a Hamite or something. Some filthy heathen that died, and then his mother buried him underneath the stump of an evergreen tree, an evergreen tree that was cut down. And this is a fable, so this is not something that actually happened. But apparently, when he buried Nimrod underneath this stump, now Nimrod I believe was an actual person. I believe the Bible talks about Nimrod, but this story is a fable, right? When he buried this filthy heathen underneath this tree stump, apparently the tree stump sprouted a whole new tree and sprouted an evergreen tree. And that was meant to be Nimrod coming back to life in the tree. That's what that comes down to. If I look up Nimrod's birthday. When was Nimrod's birthday? Let me see right here. So right here in Bible Tools, December 25th was the birthday of Nimrod. It was not the birthday of Christ. The 25th of December has nothing to do with Christ. In the story of Christ, the shepherds came and he was, the Bible don't even say when he was born. The Bible don't say when he was born. When the shepherds came, it was what? They came by night. The shepherds were watching the flock by night. When the wise men came to visit Christ, which would have been what? Around the springtime. The shepherds are watching the flock by night because these are a time when the flock will be giving birth, which is around the springtime. You know what I'm saying? December 25th is the birthday of Nimrod. That's what you serve. The whole custom of cutting the tree down into your house is to serve Nimrod. The reason it's on the 25th of December every year is to serve and worship Nimrod. That's what you serve, man. And you have so many people that know it's pagan, that know it has nothing to do with Christ, but you still keep it. You still celebrate it because you are a coward, man. That's cowardice. That's what that looks like. But you'll say, oh, it's for the kids. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in Christmas. I know it's wrong, but I can't not get my wife a Christmas present. I can't not get the kids something for Christmas. They'll feel left out. Everybody else is doing it. They'll feel left out. Let's see what the Bible says, man. Let's see what the Bible says. Let me get this right here. Matthew 10 and verse 32. This is Christ's words. You see the writing in red. It says, whosoever therefore shall confess me before men. What does it mean to confess Christ? Let me see if anyone gets it. What does it mean to confess Christ? For time's sake, I'm gonna give you all the answer. To confess Christ is to do what Christ, to say what Christ said. It's to do what Christ did. It's to follow Christ. It's when they come to you and say, what are you doing for Christmas this year? You turn around and say, I don't celebrate Christmas. That's not in the Bible. I don't celebrate it. What? You don't celebrate Christ's birthday? Well, where in the Bible does it say that December 25th is Christ's birthday? Where does it say that? Did Christ celebrate Christmas? You confess Christ before men. You don't bow the knee and say, oh, December 25th is Christ's birthday, and all these lies that you've been told and fed into you since you were a child. Since you was in the womb, you were hearing jingle bells and all these Christmas carols and whatever the hell, since you was in the womb, you've been inundated with Christianity and Christmas. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men. You stand up and be a man and say, I ain't gonna celebrate no Christmas. I ain't gonna put no tree. What am I putting a dead tree in my house for? What am I putting some fire hazard in my house? And the general brought this out in the class yesterday. When you bring these trees in your house, them trees are covered in these bugs and these insects that will lay eggs on that tree to hibernate, because that tree will keep them warm in the cold winter. That tree will keep them warm. So they lay all the eggs and all the insects. That tree is riddled with insects that you bring into your house. Now your house is warm. It ain't the bitter cold like outside. Your house is nice and warm. It's a perfect breeding ground for them eggs to hatch, or them bugs to be nice and active. And then they fly all in your plug sockets and all around your lights, or you might even spray pesticide on the tree to get rid of the bugs so you don't get them. But those pesticides are flammable, and you put all those lights around the tree, the emitting heat, and now you know the whole tree itself is just it's what's the word? It's timber, it's wood, it's flammable. So your whole house goes up in smoke. You jeopardize the safety of your children, your whole family, because what? You didn't want to be left out. You don't want to be the one that didn't have a Christmas tree in your house. Meanwhile, not having that Christmas tree in your house is saving your damn life, because your house don't have to burn down and unalive your whole family in their sleep, or you lose your house. Like, good night. And no sign Christ. And shout out to, shout out to all the comments, shout out to Adolphus Last. Shout out, I see Phantom Ray, Shalom, Lord of Christ. Shout out to all of y'all, man. I see some filthy Hamite up in there talking stuff about Christmas. He says what? He says, keep it quiet. No one worships no tree. It's just the Christmas season. If no one worships a tree, then why does every Christmas you have to get a tree up in your house? It's like it's not Christmas without the tree. You serve the damn tree, man. You serve the damn tree. You put your gifts under that tree. You bow down and you present your gifts to the damn tree. There's absolutely the worship of a tree and the worship of Nimrod. And then you claim it has something to do with the Bible. It has nothing to do with the Bible, man. Show me the Christmas tree in the Bible. Show me, putting presents underneath a tree and giving presents to your children on the 25th of December. Show me that. We'll read on in the verse. It says, whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, meaning you say I ain't gonna do no filthy custom of no heathen. I'm gonna serve my God. I'm gonna serve Christ. You confess Christ before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. If you confess Christ, if you follow Christ and you say what Christ said, you follow Christ, you follow what Christ did, man. Christ kept the feast of dedication. They didn't celebrate Christmas. If you confess Christ before men, Christ will confess you before the Most High, man. Now I'm gonna read on in this verse. Let me get it in the chapter. We're in Matthew chapter 10, verse what I just read 32. So we're in verse 33. But whosoever shall deny me before men. So you're gonna deny Christ. You're gonna say, oh yeah, well, I know Christ didn't celebrate Christmas. I know Christ didn't celebrate his birthday for that matter, but I want to do it for the children. I want to, I know that the tree has nothing to do with Christ, and the Bible tells me not to put a tree up in my house and decorate it in silver and gold and fasten it to the floor. I know the Bible tells me not to do it, but it's what did this heathen say? It's just a Christmas season. It's just a Christmas season. It's for the children. It's this is the only time we come together as a family. As if you can't have some family reunion or gathering at any time. As if you can't. I was amongst my family yesterday. I was amongst my father yesterday celebrating the feast of dedication amongst my brothers and sisters, my physical father, my physical brother, my younger brothers. You know what I'm saying? My family according to the the spirit, the hold down what I hold down, the family that I go to war with against every nation and every philosophy. I was with my family yesterday. But you'll say what? It's a time I get to be around my family and whatever the hell you're talking about. You deny Christ before men. You deny Christ because you think people will look at you funny, or your rebel, your wife will look at you funny. Well, what? You're not celebrating Christmas this year. But I was so excited to, what about Meemaw? What about Nana? She wants me around for Christmas. I ain't seen her all year. As if you can't go around to Meemaw's any day of the damn year. You have to see her on Christmas. That's the only day you can see your grandmother. You deny Christ before men. And him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Christ denies you when you deny him, man. Christ denies you when you celebrate Christmas and you serve Nimrod instead of serving Christ. Instead of following what Christ followed. Instead of Christ celebrate the feast of dedication. You deny him before men and celebrate Christmas. You serve Satan, man. Christ says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. Christ didn't come to send no happy, clappy Christmas time. Again, this heathen say it's just the Christmas season. Christ didn't come to send the Christmas season where everybody's on one accord, bowing down to a damn tree. That's not what Christ did. That's what Christ came to do. He didn't come to send peace on earth. He says, I came not to send peace, but a sword. Christ came to set a sword, man. To bring war and discourse. Christ is an aggressive black man. The Christian church, y'all have misrepresented Christ for so long and thinking he's some soft old, pansy, some soft-spoken Edomite that is all love and hugs and kisses and sunshine and rainbows. And rainbows because, probably, Christ is, Christ according to the Christian church is damn near LGBT. You think he's sunshine and rainbows. Christ didn't come to send peace on earth, man. Christ was an aggressive black man that spoke loud. They said his voice was like as a multitude of waters, man. The sound of many waters. He ain't come to send peace. He came to set a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father. Your father comes to you and say, why ain't you celebrating Christmas, man? I've raised you up in Christmas. Why you gonna celebrate this Christmas? You gonna be around the family? You say, nah. Now you're at variance with your own father. That's what Christ came to set. Christ came so you can disagree with your father and say, no, I ain't gonna celebrate Christmas. I know you raised me in Christianity, but now I follow the Lord. I don't follow some white man. I don't follow the heathen. I don't bow down to Caesar Borgia. I don't follow him. I serve the Most High, and I serve Christ, which is a black man like me. And the daughter against her mother. Christ came. So our sisters could say to their mother, "Nah, I ain't gonna be around. I ain't gonna be around y'all for Christmas, man. I'm gonna be a 394 Lodge Road celebrating the feast of Hanukkah, the dedication. That's what I'm gonna be doing. You know, y'all can have your Christmas ham, which is another sin. You're breaking the dietary law. Your Christmas turkey and whatever the hell, whatever, you know, whatever old filthy customs y'all have with Christmas. I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna be right here in the school, you know what I'm saying, keeping the feast of dedication with my brothers and sisters. And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, like, you know, your mother-in-law comes at you and says, you know, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? You know, what do you mean you ain't gonna celebrate Christmas with my son? You might have a husband that's in the world to celebrate Christmas, but you can't be there. You can't be there. And your mother-in-law might have something to say about you. They say, you know, it's no sweat. You know, I know I'm married this man and I honor and respect him, but I'm not gonna follow him and break in disrespecting the Lord. I'm not gonna follow him and break the law of my God. Your God comes before, you know what I'm saying, before your husband, if your husband is some filthy sinner. The Most High comes first. The law comes first. So you might have to be at variance with your husband, your wife, your children, your mother-in-law, your father, your grandma, your cousins, your uncle. You might have to be at variance with all of them. But you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna have some integrity and keep the law, statutes, commandments. It says, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Your own household, your children might come to you and say, oh, well, you know, my dad don't like me because he won't let me celebrate Christmas. Your dad loves you because he won't let you celebrate Christmas and be and be like, you know, every other nation that is worth nothing. Your father loves you if he stops you from celebrating Christmas, man. Your father loves you if he stops you from celebrating birthdays. Your father and your mother love you if they don't let you celebrate Easter and Halloween and Valentine's Day and whatever the hell your oppressor has given us. Your parents love you when they keep you away from these things, man. Your parents love you when they say, nah, we ain't celebrating birthdays, man. Your parents love you. All right, let me read where we at. I just read 36, right? He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. If you love your own father or mother, and the Bible says, honor your father and your mother. It says, honor your father and your mother, meaning you should show, you know, the utmost respect to your father and your mother. But if you love your own father and mother more than you love Christ, then you ain't worthy of Christ, man. You ain't worthy of what Christ did. Christ gave his own life for you. When you love your own father and own mother to go and celebrate Christmas instead of following what Christ did and what Christ said, you ain't worthy of that sacrifice, man. You ain't worthy of Christ being unalived for you. You are not worthy of the mercy that the Most High has, man. That if you was to just change of your ways and follow the law, statutes, commandments, he would embrace you back with open arms, man. You ain't worthy of that. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me, you say, you know, I do it for the kids. I know it's wrong, but I do it for the children because the children would feel left out. If you love your own son or your own daughter, which we know parents, you know, some of the strongest bonds they have is with their children. Their children come from them. I made this. This is my son that came from me. He is me. If you love your own son or your own daughter more than Christ, you are not worthy of Christ. So don't sit up there and say, you know, I'm celebrating Christ's birthday. That is the biggest spit in the face to Christ you could ever do. To break the law and say, well, I'm doing this in the name of Christ. That is blasphemy. And Matthias, if he would have seen you say something like that, we saw what happened to that man that sacrificed on the altar. We saw what happened to him. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. If you don't take up this burden This burden that it is to keep the law, statutes, commandments, man. And it ain't even really that, like, it's not, it's only a burden because of all the lies and the influence that our oppressor has. That's the only reason why it's a burden. It's not, you know, there is no law that you have to break, man. There is no law that you cannot keep. Or I should say, you know, there might be laws that don't apply to you. Like if you're a brother and there's law for a sister, that law don't apply for you. But there's no law that you have to break. If you don't take up this cross and follow after Christ, you are not worthy of Christ. You are not worthy of Christ. Christ laid down his life so that you could, you know, change your ways and be born again and you know, actually born again. Not born again like in the Christian church where you splash some water on your head and you do the same filthy thing you used to do before. Being actually born again where your old man, the things you used to do, the things you used to believe and follow, gets unalived and buried in the ground. And you become a new person. You become a child in this truth. And you become raised up and taught like a child is taught, man. You become taught your real culture, your real history, your real laws, your real customs. If you don't take up that cross and follow after Christ, do what Christ did. Christ kept the law. If you don't keep the law, you are not worthy of Christ. Christ kept these feast days, these high holy days. If you don't keep those and follow after Christ, you are not worthy of Christ. Don't even say his name. Don't say the name of Christ and do some filthy sin, man. You say the name of Christ and while you're putting up the damn tree in your house. Good night. And he that findeth his life shall lose it. You think you found your life in this wicked kingdom? You think you found, you know, something that's you know, it's so, you know, to you it's so full of life. What did this heathen say again? It's just the Christmas season. You think you found the Christmas season? You lose your life. You'll lose your life in the damn house fire because you put the Christmas tree in your house. But if you lose your life, if you lose the life that you had, the old life you had, doing all sorts of wickedness, you lose that life. Bury that man in the ground. That old man is dead for Christ's sake, so you can follow Christ. You will find your life. You will find a new life, a better life. All right? And with that, that is my show. That is my show. I'm going to end it there. You know what I'm saying? Most High in Christ. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Again, Real-Time Revelations every Monday, every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So ask yourself this question. Yesterday, did you serve the Lord or did you serve Satan? And if you served Satan, are you going to continue to serve Satan or are you going to change your life and serve the Most High? All right, with that, make sure y'all tune in. You know what I'm saying? Scripture Breakdown class is just about to start. I'm about to jump on. Make sure y'all tune in, ask your questions, get these scriptures broken down, and change your life so you can serve the Lord and no longer serve Satan. All right, with that, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barak Thumb to all my brothers, and Yahweh Shema Allah Thumb Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to all my sisters. All right, shalom.
I just float with it. Fuck what you did, I'm at your throat with it. You can learn something, take a note with it. Dedicated my life, I took an oath with it. For the blood of my brothers, we don't do no switching. I run with who I run with, ain't no clicking. Try me, do you done with no decision. Lead a scene like a Mack truck with 4 collisions. Poles everywhere, but they ain't gonna vote this in. Coming at you live and direct, I don't do no dissing.